for the people who are new this month, block of the month, I will present, or my helper will present a block of the month. You agree to do that when I'm not here? She looked shocked when I pointed at her and said my helper. I'll give you a new block every month, show you how it's made, and then the next month you come to the meeting and you make one of those blocks. You put it into the box and get a raffle ticket, and if your name or your number is drawn, you get all of those blocks. And then you can go home, make a quilt, make 2 quilts, make pillows, whatever you want to do with those blocks. So first we'll have the drawing. If you turned in a block, get out your tickets. We had a lot this month. This month's block was the Dresden Plate.
And how many did you get?
26 blocks turned in.
Can you split it in 2?
Nine 4-0-4-6-9.
That's me.
469. There are some really beautiful blocks in here, so I can't wait to see the quilt or quilts. Because 26 12-inch blocks, you could easily make at least 2. And your name? Janice Frenzel. And who's taking notes? Janice Frenzel, 26 blocks. I won the pinwheel blocks, and I actually made 2 quilts out of it, which I brought both of them in to show.
Show them all the ones that Joe did. Yeah, beautiful, Joe. They really got it.
Well, that's a really nice block.
How many did you make, Joe? 7? How many did you
7?
make?
9.
9.
Overachiever. I have to learn how to do it.
Okay, the block for next month is called Grandma's Donut. And this is what it looks like. Very easy block. Now, all of the blocks that we've done for the past about 10 months have been finished 12-inch blocks for a reason. Because starting next month, I'm going to be giving you layouts that if you've been making these at home, you can have a finished quilt, a sampler quilt with your blocks.
So,
Grandma's Donut. Donut. It looks like a donut.
The hole in the middle.
See the donut shape? Okay. For this block, you start with a 6.5-inch square in the middle. And if you've ever done a square and a square, that's what you're doing. You're putting, now I have this actually in order on purpose. You put your square on the corner, right sides together like this, and sew diagonally from corner to corner. And then you press it up and trim off what's behind it, this extra. But I just wanted to give you this little hint. When I do that and sew that there, before I press it up and trim it off, I actually move my needle over really far and sew a second seam, like this. Can you see those black edges, black thread? I sew a second seam, and then when I trim that off, I have this extra little half-square triangle. And I have tons of them, which I'll probably make a king-size quilt any day now. So then when you fold it up, it looks like this. Now you don't have to. This one actually I sewed it on and I haven't trimmed that extra off just so that you can see those, but when I go home I will trim that extra off and I'll have a half-square triangle there. This one I just sewed on regularly. Now when you sew those on, you should have an overlapping 1/4 of an inch sticking out over the edges there. And that's important so that you don't lose your points. So that's your center block. And then around the edges, these are just 3.5-inch squares. And this particular one's just scrappy squares. Sew your 2 together and sew them onto the sides. Sew 4 together and sew that onto the top and the bottom. And then you've got some more light squares that you're going to do the exact same thing again. Put them right sides together, sew diagonally, save that little half square triangle on the corner, and flip it up, and there you've got Grandma's donut. So it's a really simple block to make, and that makes a really cool quilt because it just looks like a whole bunch of colored donut rings when it's put together. Of course, you can put it together with sashing or all kinds of other things. On the back of the pattern, which you'll find on GroupWorks, I always give you some setting options. So that's it for next month.
So Mindy, when you draw the lines, do you sew just to the right of the line?
No, when you put this on there, when you put your square on there and you're doing diagonal like this, you literally sew from point to point.
To draw a line and sew on the line.
Yes, I don't draw a line because I drop my needle right on the point, and then I have a line on my sewing machine. Like you can put painter's tape, you can put something you bought that's expensive, anything, a line there. And I just take that line and follow it right up to the edge. I never take the time to actually draw the line. But you do want to go exactly from point to point. And that will make you keep those 1/4 inch, which you want. You don't want to lose those 1/4 inch overhangs there. Any other questions? Okay, more than 26 next month.
Did everybody get a chance to see the SAQA exhibit at AQS? Anybody interested in joining SAQA? They have a group down in Melbourne that meets last Saturday, and it's every other month. And if you want to join, you can get a 10% discount if you do join, and you put in ART, A-R-T, for the discount code. And if you forget, you can email me and I'll let you know. Judy Viviani just told me that Miss Dees, she has her annual quilt show. So if you want to enter it, I think you can go online and get the form. And the deadline to get the quilts to her is March 26th. And it's $10, and the quilt show is April 5th and 6th.
$10.
Hmm?